What's up, guys? We're going to be doing a live discussion here, per the usual. Just comics, figures, stuff that I've read, stuff that I've gotten in the last 5 months. I say 5 months because the last time that we did this was back in January, towards the end of the month. So yeah, January. So we're going to kick things off with action figures first. That way it's real quick. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. Then we're just going to go from there with the comic book stuff, Omnis, other books that I've gotten. So real quick, when it comes to figures, I actually got quite a few things since January. A lot of like local stuff, or should I say, it's like stuff manufactured in the U.S. and then imports, of course, Figuarts, Mafex, what have you. A lot of the stuff that I got was Neca. So to start things off, I got a lot of Neca Predator figures, but I mean an absurd amount. I think I completed the entire Predator 2 series that they had going on of figures. So like Boar, Greyback, Elder, etc., etc. I picked up Spytail off eBay as well along that same time frame for pretty decent price, I would say. Pretty decent price, and I really like them a lot. Also, one of the ones that I really want to highlight, which I posted about it and talked about a bit before, is the Plan Leader. This guy is kind of like a Grail figure, man. He came out quite some time ago, really expensive, but I happened to find him at a local store that they have here in Tucson. There's some other ones in other parts of Arizona. It's called Zia Records, in any case. Used books, records, music, video games, etc., etc. They had this guy behind the glass, and funny thing is, like, I had noticed him before I purchased him at least a month prior, and I was like, nah, as much as I want him, he's just way too much money. I took the price tag off, but I'm pretty sure he was at least over 160, 180 bucks, and sealed, brand new. I was just not going to spend that. Fast forward at least a month, I'm in that Predator hype, as I just mentioned, and I was like, you know what? I wonder if they still have that figure. I'm going to see if I could find some stuff to trade in that I don't want anymore, to see if I could get that price reduced, see if I could just cop him. And sure enough, they still had him. He was still sitting behind the glass display case. Took some stuff in, traded. I was able to get him for about, if not half off sticker price, to maybe less than half. So I think I got him for like maybe like 70, 80 bucks, which isn't bad. I mean, it's still overpriced technically for, you know, a Neca figure, but like I said, this is something that's like, they're not making any more of this guy unless like they like reissue him later down the line. But yeah, picked him up, window box, love the colors on this bad boy. Inside page right there, boom, boom. So popped him. I also picked up Stoneheart. His name. Let me see. I got stuff like written down on a sticky note right here, so I don't forget what I'm talking about and whatnot. Yeah, Stoneheart. I picked up Stoneheart as well, and some other Neca things that I found more recently in the Gargoyles line. So I found Brooklyn right here. Boom, boom. As well as Broadway. I think they had just like put these on the shelf because they still had about like 3 of each when I found them a couple weeks ago. And I think I went back the next day for some reason, or 2 days later, and the rest of them were just gone. So found these guys. I love the accessories on these figures, man. Especially like what Broadway, he comes with a chicken leg, a bag of popcorn, crazy weapons. Like, I love that. You know, stuff that you can use for other photos and just like use for other figures in general. I love it. Ugh. So I got those guys. When it comes to imports, I picked up a couple here and there. Like I said, this is since January, so it's not like I got all these at once, you know what I mean? Oh, you seen him on the Batman bike? Yo, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Damn, and I saw that bike today too. Shit. No, I don't need it. I don't need it. Stop telling me things. I don't want to go buy stuff that I don't need, man. Okay, so for Figuarts, you probably already seen in the photos, I picked up Kamen Rider Gates. The figure, I really like the figure. The show is a different thing. I don't know. The show, it's just not hitting. I don't know what it is, man. I kind of felt the same for, what was it? Ryuki? Because it has that Battle Royale, of course, feel to it and what have you, but I don't know. I felt both shows were just kind of like, meh. This one even more than Ryuki, which is a shame, but the designs are okay. I picked Gates up because he's a main rider, so I'm like, I need at least the main rider, so copped him. I like him a lot. Really cool figure. I have him on display right now, so I'm not gonna pull him out and show him, but solid figure. Also picked up, I'm not gonna pull this out right now because it's like tucked away, the Super Saiyan 2 Goku exclusive. Really nice. I like the aura effect, with a little lightning that you can attach to it. It's odd though, like I'm kind of like torn between that one and the demoniacal fit Super Saiyan 2, because I don't know what it is. Like some of the faces on the like Tamashi one look nice, and some don't, and then some of the ones on the demoniacal fit look better. So it's kind of like a mixture. So I kind of want to get that one just to have it as well as an additional like companion, so to speak, to this Super Saiyan 2 Goku. Especially with like the hair just being normal, so to speak, yellow and not like that golden yellow. But yeah, it's strange. Like I'm torn between the two of them. Also picked up, what is it? No, I got them right here actually. It'll help if I look at the pile that I have right next to me. So, Toby Spidey, which is weird because I initially had this one and Andrew on pre-order, and then I canceled them both, and then I saw people posting about him and how he's just as good as the prototypes showed, etc., and I was like, damn, I kind of want to get him now. So I got him. Really dope figure. I ended up pre-ordering Andrew again, but it's a shame. No unmasked head. I mean, as soon as people started talking smack about the unmasked head he was going to come out with, which honestly it did kind of suck. It didn't really look good. They just went ahead and took it away and didn't even opt for another like face sculpt, which is a shame. So pre-ordered him again regardless, as well as the new Tom Holland red and blue suit that just went up for pre-order. Was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. Pretty sure it was yesterday. So I went ahead and signed both of them just because at this point. So, yep, got that guy. Also have the Figuarts Kakashi. This figure is super dope, and it's so wild, man. It's so wild when, you have a figure that you just love. Because I had the original one of this. I had the original one for years. I love that figure. As soon as this comes out, you're like, oh, okay, this one's nice. But you see a side-by-side comparison of a new figure versus the old one, suddenly the old one just looks like a bootleg, and it's just insanity. Like, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. So, this guy, I think I sold the old one in order to get the NECA clan leader figure. So, whatever, recycling, it's fine. It's fine. This one's superior in my eyes as it is, just like the textures on the clothing, like the sculpt, excuse me, not the textures. It's all one texture as far as I know. I don't think there's like anything like you can feel on him, you can feel on that guy. Got the new Trunks, which is just so badass. Oh my god, this Trunks is so clean. I also have the original, the very first Trunks. I picked them up back when I went to New York Comic Con back in 2013. That was the very first time that I went to New York Comic Con. As soon as I walked in, I went straight to the Tamashi booth. I think at the time, you were able to get the SH Figuarts armored Red Mighty Morphin Ranger, like ahead of time, so to speak. Like he was accessible to you for purchase at the convention before he was actually released online. So I knew I got in line for that, and they had one Trunks, and I was like, So I got the trunks and I still have him. Solid figure as well. Always loved it. But this one, man, just blows it out the water. Like, that one just looks like a bootleg again. Granted, I wish this guy had at least maybe 1 or 2 more face sculpts to put with his base hair. It's just a one faceplate, just stoic. At least the other one had he had a smiling face. And I think even the Xeno version of him had a smiling face, which faceplates are not compatible, just totally different sizes and shapes altogether, so you cannot use it for this guy. I tried. But this guy's insanely cool. Love this figure. I'm so happy to have him. I also picked it up with the new Vegeta reissue. I wasn't gonna get him, but I mean, it was like $30, so I decided to go ahead and cop him, and I'm glad I did. It's like, I keep repeating myself, it's crazy how, you have the original one and it looks good. You love it, because I also have the original Super Saiyan Vegeta, and he still looks good. And then you just see the new one, you're like, damn, like, the faces on these just looks insanely different. Like, they just look so good and crispy. So I'm happy to have both. That's for sure. For some variation and what have you. I'm more than likely gonna end up getting the new Trunks as well. Have the old one on here, the armored one, Saiyan Trunks. So I'm probably gonna get him when he comes out as well. Next off, we have the SH Figuarts Gokai Red, the reissue, the new one, Shinkocho Seiho, whatever, how the hell you want to pronounce it. Thank you so much, Faye, for getting me this bad boy. I love it, man. Love it. I mean, like, I'm gonna pop him out the box because, like, this guy, he's just too damn good. Like, I was very surprised about the way, like, this guy actually does have texture. Like, you could feel it, like, especially around the arms, like some of the parts around, like, the waist right here. This is definitely like soft goods, which I believe the original one does have, like, these like soft little areas down here. Out of the original ones, I never completed the set. I never got pink or yellow, which is, I don't know why. I just didn't. I ended up getting like the other 4 practically all at once, and I just never, I think at the time, like all those years ago, they were just too expensive for me to want to go ahead and pursue, and I just never got them. And more recently, I was tempted to get them until I saw that they were releasing this guy, which is giving me hope that they'll just do the rest of the team, But regardless, this also surprised me. The collar is just soft and flexible. Like that, I don't know. Super clean figure. Super happy to have him. And I really do hope that they not only continue to do the rest of the Gokaigers, but if anything, just the rest of Super Sentai. Just bring Super Sentai back. Like, I know we have Lightning Collection, but nothing's gonna beat, like, these import figures, like, honestly. Like, the articulation and just the details and accessories, and, I mean, just this box is so clean. This box is so clean. I love it. I love it. I just want to put on my Gokai cosplay right now. Fuck. Alright. But, yeah, I don't think I have anything else to go over when it comes to figures, so we're going to jump right into books that I have gotten since the end of January to present day, as well as ones that I've read, things that I have to say about them. So you're going to have to bear with me because I do not have them here in arm's reach, so I will be grabbing them off the shelf behind me. So the first set of books that I did get, we have the Original Years for Aliens, volumes 3 and 4. All right. All right. Volume 3. Spine. Contents back here. I'm not going to read the contents. Just too much. That's just too much. Volume 3, I really did enjoy. A lot of new stories. I don't think I've never read anything from here. Out of all these Omnis, the one that I had read stuff out of were the first one, because Dark Horse initially was publishing it in these oversized deluxe hardcovers for the Original Years, and I think they had one more that contained, or was it Nightmare Asylum and Earth War. But those two books only made a very small portion of Omni 1. Rest of Omni 1 was new stuff. Book 2, new stuff for me. Book 3, all new stuff. So really the only one out of all of these that I had, I'm pretty sure read all of, was book 4, because it was the more modern stuff that I had gotten into at the time when it was originally being released as single issues. So, book 4. This beautiful one was absolutely awesome. I mean, it had Dead Orbit, Dust to Dust. I really like Dust to Dust. Resistance, Rescue. All of these stories were just banger after banger. I love book 4. This one's fabulous. Love this book. And I guess that kind of like segues into the other book that I got that kind of goes hand in hand with this, which will be the Predator Volume 1 Omnibus. Volume 2 was announced. I love that little detail. Little 3 dots with a laser sight. Similar thing as the Aliens Volume 1 Omni, Dark Horse had one single book for Predator that was deluxe, oversized, hardcover. Those stories are also in here, but only make up a very small portion of it. Everything else, to me, was brand new stuff. And the same will be for Volume 2 when that comes out. I've read more stuff about Aliens than Predator prior to all this, so everything that's going to be Predator-wise is going to be brand new, and I'm just looking forward to that, like, legitimately. Alright. Next, we have Ultimate Spider-Man, Volume 2. Read all of this, the entire series, leading up to the Miles stuff years ago. So I'm currently rereading it right now in my Omni format. Finished this one, as well as I'm continuing to read it online, just because I'm impatient. But of course, I'll be buying the physical Omni when it does come out in a couple months. Hopefully there are no delays. But this is a solid story. I think this is one of the very first Spidey stories that I read all these years ago, probably like 10 years ago, and I just couldn't get enough of it. So I'm really happy that they're releasing this in Omni format, which then brings us to the next book, which is the second volume for the Miles. Boom. Right here. I haven't opened it up. Like I said, I'm currently reading it online because I'm impatient. But once I get to this point, I will be opening up the physical one. Just physical meat is better in my opinion. I mean, just me, but I just like it. Hence the collection. Alright. This is one that I was anticipating as well. The Nick Spencer Amazing Spider-Man Volume 1 Omni. Never read the story. I think I read the first couple of issues, so is what I did read when it was coming out in singles. I got to meet both him and so Nick Spencer and Ryan Ottley. I think it was back at New York Comic Con 2018. So I have some singles double signed by them, one on display. But from the first couple issues that I read, I really did enjoy it. I can't wait to actually get into this story and read the entire thing and get Volume 2 when it does come out. But I know it's going to be solid regardless. I know it's going to be solid. So, looking forward to it. I mean, art is just great. Looks so good. Alright. Put this guy back. And next, we have Daredevil, Frank Miller, Klaus Janson. Never read this story, still sealed, haven't gotten to it, but I did pick it up. Classic stuff. that I do plan on reading in the near future. And I'm really glad that they were able to go ahead and re-release this, because I was super tempted to just buy the original, but wasn't going to pay that kind of money, and so I'm glad they were able to go ahead and get this guy out. Kind of just jumping back and forth by what I have on my sticky note and how I originally picked it up. Next, we have the Sleeper Omnibus. Brubaker, Sean Phillips. This one is sealed, but I have read this. I had the paperbacks. I had found those paperbacks many years ago at Zia Records. Wow, yeah, here we go again. And I thought the story was okay. I think it's one of their earlier works, but I did enjoy it. I don't really know if I'll be rereading this one anytime soon, but I still, of course, needed to pick this up, being the creative team that it is of Brubaker and Phillips. And this is a reissue, so now it has the actual DC logo on the bottom. But yeah, good stuff. If you haven't read it, I would definitely still recommend it. But like I said, I have like a whole little era dedicated to Phillips and Brubaker, and this is still good, just not one of my favorite ones, but still good. Ugh. Alright, these are the next ones. I was actually surprised that this got re-released. Like, I had a copy on pre-order, of all places, through Big Bad Toy Store, and it just kept getting delayed and delayed and delayed. And then one day I went on Amazon and they happened to have it in stock, base price, which, you know, I was super excited for, considering I just procrastinated and never picked it up, and I needed this one to complete the collection. So we have Power Rangers Shattered Grid right here, and then we have Necessary Evil Part 2 right here. Originally, when this was coming out, I think I read up to some stories in Beyond the Grid when they were single issues, and kind of fell off it. So I am going to start this series from beginning to end eventually, but I am looking forward to it. I also know that they had initially come out with some kind of pre-order Kickstarter box set that had these books. Just each volume was one of the main 6 Mighty Morphin Rangers, and I was tempted to get that, you know, when it was originally announced. I don't even know if that's come out though. I haven't seen anyone put like reviews about it, so who knows? Maybe just got stopped. I don't know. But good stories. Anyway. Now this is something that I got yesterday in the mail. We have Dragon Ball: A Visual History. This is something that I've been wanting to own for some time. Finally just went ahead and purchased it. Really good stuff. A lot of just behind the scenes, so to speak, of the Dragon Ball manga. Has some interviews as well. A lot of art pieces, obviously, and just inside you will find individual covers for some Shonen Jump magazines, the actual ones right behind me right here on the shelf, the single volumes, as well as the artwork for the spines. Like, it just shows all of that. I honestly thought this was going to have a little bit more. I don't know what I expected, really, because I had already done like a look into the book, but I guess I was thinking it was going to contain more of the materials from the Daizenshu's from Japan, which those books never got translated into English, which sucks because those do have a lot of content. I guess technically they did it for the first one, but literally volume 1 is just literally just illustrations. So it's just the photos, like the manga panels and what have you. So they just did volume 1, none of the other ones, which I have volumes 3 and 5 of the Daizenshu's, which are the TV animations, and that just has artwork, original new artwork, showcasing classic scenes as well as the actual stuff that was used in the anime. But like I said, it's in Japanese. There's no English translation, so I bought these several years ago, knowing full well that it was in Japanese and not English, but I still wanted it because it's badass. I just wish they would come out with these books and the entire collection in English for full enjoyment. Let me just grab them to show. Anyway. So we have volume 3 and 5. So, as an example for what you may find in one of these, like character bios, as well as some pages in color showing scenes from the anime. And let's see, here's like fresh artwork, like recreating, you know, classic scenes. Some of that nice goodness. Let's see, there's another one. I really wish that they would make these in English. I mean, they're fantastic. So, and also, like, they connect, so, in a sense, they connect. So how the spines, when you have the picture, makes one long picture. These, I don't think the two that I have connect in any way, but in any case, you'll see, like, the Shenron back here. So when you have all of them, the front covers are going to make Shenron. See, this is like his head right here of his horns. So collect all 7 Dragon Balls, and you'll make Shenron. So really dope stuff, but don't know if they'll ever get translated into English. That's good stuff. Going back to Brubaker and Sean Phillips, I did pick up their more recent work, which just came out last week, Night Fever. Standard hardcover, not deluxe, tears, but not a bad story. It wasn't one of my favorites either, but it's still very enjoyable. I am going to keep saying that, still very enjoyable, but not one of my favorites. I still recommend to pick it up regardless. I read it in one sitting as well, and it's pretty crazy. Like, you know, you have like the afterword, and you just read up on this, and you come to find out that, I guess, like, the original idea behind this, Brubaker had like jotted down notes in a little journal back in 2010. Now, like, more than a decade later, it's come out. The story was fleshed out into an actual graphic novel. So that's just crazy to like just like know the process behind stuff like that. It's wild. Alright, next, super oversized deluxe version of 7 to Eternity. I was reading this when it originally came out, probably the first 5 issues. Can't even tell you what it was about, it was so long ago. I do vaguely remember liking the story. For some reason just didn't follow through with buying it, but this was released, and this is definitely bigger than your average, like, well, I say average, but this is bigger than a deluxe hardcover than an Omni. It's the same width, but height-wise, it is taller. It's a big boy, but I am looking forward to reading this right here eventually. Alright, next, Gideon Falls Volume 2. This is a pretty decent horror style graphic novel. I was surprised, however, that Volume 2 was the last volume. For some reason, as I was reading it, it didn't really feel like it was coming to an end and that there was going to be more to the story. So once I finished it, I was like, oh, okay, can't wait for the next volume. Then I look it up and it's like, nah, that was it. So kind of had mixed feelings about it, but it was still a good horror supernatural story. Definitely recommend. I mean, it's just 2 books, so I definitely recommend this. It's cheap. It's good stuff. All right. Ninja Turtles. Ooh! Ninja Turtles. Never disappoints. We have volume 14. Alopex looking clean on the cover. Backside as well. Color coordinated. And a little ribbon as well. I really don't want to give info on this book or the story, just because I feel like with the coming of the new movie in August, people might be inclined, what's up guys, thank you for joining, to jump into the comic series. But I will say, it does not disappoint. I love Ninja Turtles. Just pretty much anything Ninja Turtles, I really do like it. There are some TV shows that I haven't watched that I do hopefully plan on watching at some point, but I always have time for the comics. And volume 15 should actually be coming out sometime in July, so with no delays hopefully. So I am excited to get that one as well. Next we have Batman, Curse of the White Knight, Deluxe Edition. Solid story, revolves around Azrael. You got Batman, Harley. Really nice artwork. Sean Murphy. I mean, look at this. Love this. The ending did surprise me. Not gonna spoil it, but it did surprise me. So I'm looking forward to see where else this goes. Let's see, I'm trying to find like some kind of spoiler-free page. A nice shot. Just Batman. But yeah, good story. Really like it. Alright, so these next ones I'm just going to showcase one volume for them each. So we have volume 3, which is the final volume of Oblivion Song, Robert Kirkman. This is also a series that I was reading monthly single issues way back when, and I'm pretty sure I dropped the series when it was probably like 5 issues from completion without even realizing it. But yeah, finally picked up the first and third volume because I just happened to find volume 2 probably at Zia Records some time ago. So cop these, started the story from beginning to end, really liked it, recommend. Now in that same vein with Robert Kirkman, we have Outcast. So I think volume 3 was the one that I'm missing, so I'm going to showcase volume 3. There are 4 volumes for Outcast. So same thing, was reading this way back when. I think I had the paperbacks at the time and didn't finish it for one reason or another. I was watching a TV show that unfortunately was canceled way back when, but started this beginning to end. Solid story as well, really like it, really recommend. This one definitely has those horror elements. I was talking about Gideon Falls earlier, and that one, yeah, has, you know, horror, supernatural stuff, some imagery, just like real spooky. Something about this though, Outcast really just came out better. So this guy right here. Alright, next. These are also some books that were on my list to grab for many, many years. And more than likely because of the release of Tears of the Kingdom is kind of what pushed me to just go ahead and buy these now, since I'm in that Zelda phase once more. Shirt, hat, socks, yes, everything. So we have the arts and artifacts for Zelda right here. I already had the first book in this trilogy of books, being the Hyrule Historia. So went ahead and picked up arts and artifacts. It shows pretty much everything in here for the series. So really good panel. Nope, not that one. Logo and package gallery. Real good stuff. As well as the third book in the series being the encyclopedia. So, yeah, Target was doing another one of their lovely buy two get one sales. So, could not resist. Whatever they had available, that was on my wish list. Went ahead and just pulled the trigger and ordered it. So, makes me happy to round out the collection and pretty much be at a point where it's just, I'm finally caught up, or for the most part caught up with the stuff that I've been wanting for years. So it's like, okay, now you can stop buying stuff, but not really. But yeah, solid books. Really the next ones that are on the list for books, there's two sets of things, should I say. And I just realized there's a figure I didn't talk about, but I'll get to that in a second. Okay, getting sidetracked. So the next set of books that I was able to pick up were the Berserk volumes 11, 12, and 13. I think I've mentioned this before. Up until these deluxe volumes, I've never read Berserk. Really enjoy it. Good stuff. Dark fantasy. Love it. And I'm sad, man. I'm sad because Volume 13 ended at a point where it's like, okay, we're ramping things up. It looks like we're going to have some kind of resolution. The story's going to progress in a direction that's going to be like, okay, here we go. And Volume 14, which is, I was happy that it got announced. I wasn't sure if it was going to get announced, but I'm glad it got announced. So Volume 14 is going to have the last two volumes, as well as, since there's no third volume to fill in the gap because of the creator's passing, it's just going to be like bonus content, which I don't know that content is going to have per se like information as to where the story was going to go or how it was going to end included in there, which would be nice for that closure. I mean, if it's not included, or if that was never something that was like publicly announced, that's understandable. But if it is, that'd be fantastic if they included it in that book. So Volume 14 Deluxe for Berserk, coming out towards the end of this year, I believe it was. Really excited for that. But, okay. Before I get to the last book thing, I'm going to jump back to one more figure that I did not talk about it. I had him here on the side, and I completely forgot about it. We have Nightwing, Mafek's Nightwing. Dope figure. I don't know. Like, I wish he came with an unmasked head. That would have been nice. And unfortunately, both of my head sculpts have some pretty noticeable, nasty paint apps more along the bridge of the nose. Like the diamond portion right here of his mask is kind of just like sloppy and kind of coming down, or like just not really. It's not looking fresh, man. It's not looking fresh, unfortunately. So, yeah, still a cool figure, but can't complain too much about it. I mean, you're not going to really notice it that much in the photos regardless. So, whatever. Okay, back to books. Sip of coffee first. Okay, so to round out the... actually, I got one other thing before this one. I'm just going to show it real quick because I haven't gotten a chance to read it or have the... volume that comes before it, so regardless. Okay. We have Batman No Man's Land Volume 1. Reason I picked this one up was, well, like I said, Target was doing a sale. They did not have Road to No Man's Land on there, and I do not own it. So there's that. This one was still available. Volume 2 was available, but I fell asleep before midnight. I can't stay awake late. So I ended up waking up sporadically in the middle of the night. It was like 3 in the morning, and I pulled out my phone. I just started like putting things into the shopping cart to make sure I don't miss out on anything else. And volume 2 of this was one that I unfortunately missed out, as well as another book, which is fine. You know, I filled in the gaps of other books that were on the list. But yeah, No Man's Land Volume 1. We'll be getting the predecessor and sequel shortly. Okay, so no more distractions. The final items that I have acquired is going to be 4 box sets, 2 of which I used to own, and I sold them years ago, and I decided, let's go ahead and give this a shot again. Like, I know I like it. I just fell off, like, from reading anymore at the time, and I went ahead and pulled the trigger, bought the 2 that I sold, bought the following 2, and I'm starting it from scratch again. So, here we have One Piece. Yes, I am getting into One Piece. Like I said, I had the first 2 boxes of this years ago, and I fully read those box sets. I just didn't pick up box 3 at the time. I think box 3 at the time was still brand new and, you know, quite expensive. I couldn't afford it back then, and decided to just not get it, and years passed, and I just decided to sell the first 2. So, box 1 includes volumes 1 through 23. Do I dare open it and trying to show it on camera? Yeah, just barely. I think they're gonna fall out, so just barely. Real colorful books. I'm currently on volume 5. So, we have box set 1. Box set 2 contains volumes 24 through 46. We're going to try this again. Hopefully no spillage. Look at those nice colors. Yay. Everybody's happy. There we go. And that is where I finished back in like 2017. So, next, box set 3 contains volumes 47 through 70. Sheesh. Those nice colors on the spines. Alright. And lastly, we have box set number 4. This is the most recent one, containing volumes 71 through 90. And it's still going. Perfect. Alright. So, diving into this once more. Gonna follow through of it this time. Read it. All the physical ones that I have now, and then go from there. Whether or not that means by the time that I'm caught up with what I own, then the next box that's out, or if I have to just continue reading it online, we shall see. But yeah, I'm excited to tackle that venture once more and go from there. But yeah, that concludes this next session of comic book, action figure talk, what have you. So I'm gonna end it right there, and I'll see you guys in a couple months. Bye.